PageBlaster, changing your paper size.
Hello everyone, John for CATT Northwest here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the APH PageBlaster and changing our paper size on board the embosser. Now to do this, we'll of course, want your machine turned on, but once you're all booted up and ready to go here, we're going to press our menu button to open up our menu system.
Open menu mode.
Here we are. And now once we're in the menu, truthfully we could use up or down. Doesn't really matter which direction you go. All the menus round robin. In this case, I happen to know down is going to get us where we want to be a little bit faster. So I'm going to press the down arrow button twice, and we're looking for Braille layout.
Print. Braille layout.
There it is. And to enter into Braille layout, we're going to press our right arrow to enter into that menu.
Edit active layout 1.
And there it said Edit Active Layout 1. This is just letting us know a couple of things. It's letting us know that we're on Layout 1, and that's the one we're editing, and that's our active one. Layouts, just super quick, even though we're going to do that in a separate video. Layouts are just groups of settings. So this embosser does let you have different groups of settings. If perhaps you have students with different embossing needs, it may be faster to change between a group of settings than it would be to go change individual settings every time your embosser needs or embossing needs change. So that's all layout is. We'll leave it at that, and again save those for another day, but we want to go ahead and change this active layout 1 here and right arrow to do that.
Standard wizard. Press OK to start.
All right, it says standard wizard. If we were to down arrow, I'm not going to go ahead and do that right now, but if we were to down arrow, there is also an advanced wizard. Now, everything that is in the standard wizard is also in the advanced wizard as well, but the advanced wizard has a few additional settings inside of it that are just less common settings. Something like perhaps you wanted to change to jumbo braille. Not something people usually do every day, so they've tucked that in a separate wizard where you can get some of those, for lack of a better term, more nitty-gritty kind of settings. In this case, changing the paper size is a pretty common thing to do, and so they've tucked that in that standard wizard. And it did say press OK to start that. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to press that round OK button in the center.
Paper size. United States. Letter. Portrait.
All right, and it echoes our current paper size to us, and this is also where we change it. Now, unlike the normal menus, which are kind of an up and down and right to get into it and a left to get back out of a menu, the wizard is a step-by-step. So think of it as stepping through. So for wizards, we'll use left and right arrow to step us to the next item with the right arrow and previous item. And in order to change an item, such as the paper size, we'll use OK to change it, up and down to select the option we want, OK again to confirm that new option. So that's exactly what we're going to do. OK to change.
Select. Letter. Portrait.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and...
Paper width. 8.5 inches. Paper length. 11 inches.
And it is a little wordy with the paper sizes there. It tells you all the dimensions, which I suppose is actually pretty nice. But I'm going to go ahead and down arrow until I find 11.5 by 11. So here we go.
10 by 11 by 11.5 by 11 inches. Portrait. Paper width. 11.5 inches. Paper length. 11 inches.
And there we are. I'm going to go ahead and press OK to confirm that setting. Now, you're going to notice me do this in just a second, so I'm going to explain this real fast. You do not have to wait for it to finish talking before you move on to the next item. So I didn't want to interrupt it there. I just wanted to let it play out. But I could have just pressed OK and it kind of cut off the speech. That is perfectly acceptable. You do not actually have to wait for an item to finish speaking aloud before you select or move on to the next item. So we've picked our 11.5 by 11. I'm going to press OK to confirm that.
Value changed. Paper size. 11.5 by 11 inches. Portrait. Paper width. 11.5 inches. Paper length. 11 inches. After this value has been changed, characters per line and line per page are set to maximum.
Okay, and now again, I didn't really have to wait that out, but I wanted to talk through the next thing I'm going to do here real quick before I did it. So now I need to go to the next step of the wizard, and I need to continue stepping through this wizard until I get to the end. So I'm just going to press right arrow, and again, you're going to hear me kind of cut off the speech because I'm going to keep pressing right arrow before it finishes talking like I mentioned earlier. So stepping to the next item with the right arrow.
Print type.
Next again.
6 or 8. Text to Braille track. Legacy Braille track. Lines per page. Top margin. Braille page number. Characters per line. Binding margin. Wizard completed. Press OK to save, or press on to cancel.
And there we are. We've gotten to the end. It says press OK to save. That would save our settings. Or if we change something or think we accidentally messed something up, you could also press the on button. That would go ahead and exit you out of the menu without changing any of the settings whatsoever. In this case, I do want to go ahead and press OK to confirm my setting and change that.
Save settings. Layout 1. Close menu mode.
And there we are. It said it saved our settings to layout 1, which again, if you recall, is our the profile we're actively using or layout we're actively using right now, which is wonderful. Now our paper size is set to 11.5 by 11, and we're ready to go. There you are, folks. Hope that video was helpful. And
CATT, Center for Assistive Technology Training Northwest.
The CATT program is funded by a federal appropriation and works in partnership with the American Printing House for the Blind and Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind. Logos: APH, AIDB, and WSSB